it's Sonia here, The Pretty Stitch. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time joining me, I'm so happy to have you here. So today we are going to be crocheting a hat, and I am using my eye hook or 5.5 millimeter hook. Please excuse the rubber band, as I also use this hook for Tunisian crochet, but this is just a regular crochet project, and I'm using this very bright pink worsted weight yarn. I believe it's Red Heart Super Saver. I'm trying to kind of go through my Red Heart Super Saver. I have a lot of it, and this is a good workhorse yarn for that. So this hat is going to be made bottom up, so we're going to be starting at the band of the hat, and then we're going to work our way up to the crown. And I think this is a really fun, cute project, and it uses the camel stitch or third loop half double crochet. I always love making projects using that stitch. I think it's such a fun stitch. Okay, so to get started, we are going to be working foundation single crochet. So to do that, you're going to chain 2, and in the second chain from your hook, you're going to insert your hook in that chain. You're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. Now we have 2 loops on our hook. We're going to chain 1, and now we're going to pull through the remaining 2 loops. So now we're going to go back in that chain, and I like to work in both loops of the chain. Some people, it depends, sometimes you just work on the top loop, but for foundation single crochet, I do like to work in both loops. So what I mean by that, let me get a double point here so we can kind of see. So this is just the top loop, but if you kind of go in the center there, then you pick up that second loop there. So that's my preferred method when doing foundation single crochet. So it looks like we have 3 loops on our hook, but really it's only 2. It's just part of that chain. So we're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, chain 1, yarn over, pull through 2. And we're just going back in there in that chain we just made, pulling up a loop, chain 1, yarn over, pull through the remaining 2. So now we have worked 3 foundation single crochet. So these are the tops of the stitches, 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to keep going until we have 72 foundation single crochets. And I like to use foundation single crochet, especially for bottom up hats, because you'll find it does have a little bit of flexibility to it, which is really nice for a hat, since you want the hat to have a little bit of give. Okay, so I finished up my 72 foundation single crochet. So now we're going to turn this into a circle so we can start working in the round. All right, so what I like to do is I just run my thumb and index finger down, because we don't want it to twist. So just all the way down until I get to the end, and then I just swing it around and slip stitch in that first stitch. Yarn looks dirty there. This will need a bath after we're done stitching. Okay, so now we are ready to begin round 2. So we finished up round 1, and let's begin round 2. So we are going to half double crochet. So I'm going to chain 1. I'm going to half double crochet in that stitch. That first stitch, I'm going to continue to half double crochet all the way around. So at the end of this round, I will have 72 half double crochet, and you can see how we have some nice flexibility there, so it's real nice to put on your head for a hat. All right, so we are finishing up round 2. I've got 2 more stitches to go. This is my last one. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start working in continuous rounds. So what that means is we're just going to go around and around and around. We are not going to be joining. So what you need to do is place a stitch marker in your last stitch, because the way this pattern is, and especially this stitch pattern, it gets lost and you will have a heck of a time trying to find that last stitch. So you want to mark it for sure. Okay, so let's begin round 3. We're going to jump in. So we're going to work the camel stitch or half double crochet in the third loop. So if you've never done it before, I'm going to show you. Okay, so if you're looking at your stitch, this is your half double crochet. You look at the tops of the stitch, it looks like a letter V. So here would be the front loop. This is the back loop. But the fun thing with half double crochet, if you turn it this way, you can see there is another loop right here. So we're going to be working in that. So my first half double crochet right here, I'm going to turn it over, and there is that third loop. I'm going to work a half double crochet in that. And now my next stitch, I'm going to work front post half double crochet. So right around this stitch here, so front post, and we're going to work another one. So we worked 2 front post half double crochets. And now we're going to begin the repeat for our pattern here for this round. So we're going to work half double crochet in the third loop in the next 2 stitches. So again, turn it over, and there is that loop right there. We also have a dog here. He sheds 365 days out of the year. All right, we're going to work another one. So you're going to work 2 half double crochet in the third loop, and then we're going to work 2 front post half double crochet. We're going to do that all the way around. So I'm working 2 front post half double crochet and 2 half double crochet in the third loop. So you find when you're working the front post half double crochet and then you have to work the 2 half double crochet in the third loop, that first stitch after the post stitch, the loop can be a little tricky to find. So you turn it over and it does kind of like to get a little crunched up in there. So it is literally right here. So just keep in mind, like when you kind of get in the groove of crocheting, because this, you don't have to think too hard about this, it can be easy to miss it. So just keep that in mind. So at the end of this round, you're still going to have 72 stitches. So as you can see, we've got our 2 post stitches and then the 2 stitches in the third loop, the camel stitch there. So I'm going to keep going around and I will meet you back. All right, so I'm almost done round 3. So I am at my last stitch here. So there's my stitch marker. So I am going to work, I'm going to pull that guy out. So we're working half double crochet in the third loop right in there. And now I'm going to place my stitch marker back in there. And we'll get ready for round 4. So round 4 is just going to be a repeat of round 3, and round 5 is also going to be a repeat of round 3. So you're going to do this round 2 more times for a total of 5 rounds. So our first stitch, half double crochet in the third loop, and then front post half double crochet around the next 2 stitches. And then half double crochet in that third loop for the next 2. And front post half double crochet. So I'm going to keep going for round 4 here, and then I'm going to repeat this round again for round 5. So I will meet you back at the end of round 5. Okay, so I finished up round 5. So now we're going to begin round 6. And we're just going to work half double crochet in the third loop all the way around for actually rounds 6 and 7. So I'm just jumping right in and I'm working that half double crochet in the third loop. So we are done with our hat band here. All right, so I finished up round 7, placed my stitch marker, And now we are going to begin round 8. So we are going to jump right in like we've been doing, working the camel stitch or half double crochet in the third loop, and we're working 30 stitches. Okay, so we're still on round 8 and I worked 30 stitches. So now we're going to work a front post half double crochet in the next stitch, and then we're just going to continue to work around in the camel stitch here. So in that third loop, just continuing to work half double crochet. So I'm going to keep going, finishing up round 8, and you should still have your 72 stitches at the end of the round. Okay, so finished up round 8, still using my stitch marker, so make sure you keep using that, put that in your last stitch. So let's begin round 9. Round 9 we are going to work 29 half double crochet, still working in our pattern, the camel stitch or in the third loop. Alright, so I've worked 29 stitches, so now we're going to work front post half double crochet in the next 3. So 1, 2, and 3, and now we just continue to half double crochet around. So again, I'm just making sure I don't miss the next stitch, so I kind of just pull that back, just get in there and work the stitch. So I'm going to continue to just half double crochet around in the third loop. Okay, so finished up around 9, so let's begin round 10. We are going to continue in pattern, working in that third loop, and we're going to work 28 stitches. Okay, so I'm on round 10. I've worked 28 stitches. So now I'm going to work front post half double crochet around 5 stitches. And there is stitch 5. And now we just continue for round 10 to work our half double crochet in the third loop. So for round 11, what you're going to do is you're going to work 27 stitches. So I'm going to finish up round 10 here, what we're currently on, and then round 11 I'm going to work my half double crochet for 27 stitches. So I will meet you back, and again, just keep using your stitch marker there. So I'll meet you back. All right, so now we are on round 11. I did finish up round 10, and now I worked 27 stitches for round 11 here, and we're going to continue working front post half double crochet. So we're going to work 7 stitches. All right, so we have 7 front post half double crochet, so then you just continue to work even around to finish up round 11, and then round 12 you're going to work 26 half double crochet in the third loop, and I will meet you back when I've worked my 26 stitches for round 12. Okay, so we are on row 12, and I worked my 26 stitches, and now we're going to work 9 front post half double crochet stitches. Okay, so we have our 9 front post half double crochet. So then you just continue to work your half double crochet in the third loop or the camel stitch. It's the same thing all the way around. And then for round 13, you're going to work your half double crochet for 25 stitches, and then we will work our front post section. So I'm going to finish up round 12 and then start round 13, and I will meet you back. Okay, so we are on round 13. I worked 25 half double crochet, so now we're going to work 11 half double crochet or front post half double crochet across. Okay, so we've worked our 11 front post half double crochet. Then of course you're going to continue in pattern. So you're actually going to be repeating this round. So now we are on round 16. So I've worked 25 stitches. We actually need to work 26 in the third loop. So I've worked 26. So now we're going to work 4 front post half double crochet. Okay, so we've worked 4 stitches. So our next stitch is going to be half double crochet in the third loop or the camel stitch there. So working that stitch. And we're going to work 4 more front post half double crochet. So our heart is taking shape here. All right, so then you're going to continue working your half double crochet in the third loop around, and then for round 17 you are going to work 27 half double crochet in the third loop, and then we will finish up our heart. So I'm going to keep going and I'll meet you back. Okay, so I've worked my 27 half double crochet in the third loop. We're on round 17 and we are going to work 2 front post half double crochet. And now we're going to work 3 half double crochet in the third loop. And we work 2 more front post half double crochet, and then we are done with our post stitch section for this hat. So not too many post stitches, just enough to have our cute little heart. And now we just continue to work around. So for rounds 18 through 20, we're just going to work even. So you're just going to go around and around and around. And then round 21, we're going to start our decreasing because we need to turn this into a hat, because right now we just got a big hole. So of course you're going to keep using your stitch marker there. So I'm going to keep going. I'll work my 20 rounds and I will meet you back. Okay, so I finished up my 20 rounds. So now we're going to start decreasing. So we got to turn this into a hat. So we're going to continue in pattern and we're going to work 7 half double crochet in our third loop here. Okay, so I have worked 7 stitches. So now we're going to decrease or do a together stitch, same thing. We're still working in our third loop. So I've got my yarn over, I'm going to insert my hook in that next stitch, and then I'm going to insert my hook into the next stitch. So I've got my 4 loops. I'm going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 3. So this is a streamlined half double crochet decrease or together stitch, because the other one, the traditional one, is a lot more bulky, and we want this hidden in the hat, so it will be almost undetectable once you've done the hat. You will not really be able to see the decreases, which is great. All right, so we're going to continue that. So you're going to work 7 stitches. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing with the decrease. So next stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 3. So you're going to continue that all the way around for round 21 here. All right, so I finished up round 21. We have 64 stitches, so now we're going to decrease again, and we're going to work 6 half double crochet, so we have 6, and we're going to decrease the same way. And we're just going to continue around. So you're going to work 6 stitches and then work your decrease or together stitch. And we should have 56 stitches at the end of round 22 here. Okay, so I finished up round 22. We have 56 stitches. So we're going to continue with our decreasing. So we are on round 23, and we're going to work 5 half double crochet in the 3rd loop. All right, and now we do our decrease. So we pick up that loop, pick up the next loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 3. And we're just going to continue around. So we're going to work 5 stitches and then work our decrease stitch. So at the end of this round, we should have 48 stitches. So I'm going to keep going here and I will meet you back. Okay, so we finished up round 23. We have 48 stitches. So now what we're going to do is we're going to continue with our decreasing, and we are going to work 4 stitches. And now work our decrease. And we're going to keep going around. So at the end of this round, you're going to have 40 stitches. So we're getting there. Okay, so I finished up round 24. We have 40 stitches. So let's begin round 25. We're going to work 3 stitches. Still working half double crochet in the 3rd loop, and then we do our decrease. So at the end of this round, we're going to have 32 stitches, so definitely getting smaller. Okay, so finishing up round 25, we have 32 stitches, so round 26, we're still decreasing because hole's getting smaller, but not quite small enough. So now we are going to work 2 stitches and then do our decrease. And we're just going to keep going around. So at the end of this round, we're going to have 24 stitches. Okay, so we have finished up round 26. We have 24 stitches, so let's begin round 27. So now we're going to work 1 half double crochet, and then we are going to work our decrease. So at the end of this round, we're going to have 16 stitches. All right, so I finished up round 27. So this is our hole. We could close it up now, and if you want to, you certainly can. I'm going to work one more round. So I'm just going to jump right in and start decreasing right away. So insert in the next 2 loops, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 3. So at the end of this round, 28 here, we're going to have 8 stitches. And I'm still using my stitch marker. So this might be a little tight for some people. So like I said, if you want to close your hole at round, when you have 16 stitches left, so at round 27, absolutely do that, but I want to have it even smaller. Okay, so we have a nice tiny little hole. So now we're ready to close this up. So what you can do is you can cut your yarn, take a yarn needle and weave through and cinch it closed, but I'm going to use my closed hole method because I like this method. But again, if you find this way too tricky, then just, you know, cut a little bit of a tail and then take a yarn needle and weave through and then cinch it closed. But I'm going to use my 2 hook method because I just think it leaves a really nice, neat finish. All right, so you'll need 2 hooks to do this method, or maybe 3, probably 2 is fine. So you either need to use a hook that's the same size, or I suggest one smaller. So I have an H hook here, and I'm using an I hook, so that'll work completely fine. So we're just going to pull up loops, still working in that 3rd loop. So the very next stitch, so this is a little tricky because the hole is tiny, so like I said, if it's too much, just use a yarn needle. So I'm pulling up a loop and I'm leaving it on the hook, and I'm just going to go all the way around until I can't do it anymore, and then we'll pick up the next one, the next hook. I'm just going around. It is a little bit tight, but I really like the way it looks, so that's why I'm kind of putting up with the fiddliness of it. So I'm going to grab my 2nd hook. I'm going to go into the very next stitch, into that 3rd loop, and pull up the stitch. Just going to keep going until we get to the end. So almost at the end. Last one. Okay. So we've got our loops on our hooks. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a giant slip stitch all the way around. And if you've made any other hats with me, we've got a split. Let's fix that. Top, bottom up. You've seen this method before. All right, so we're going to yarn over and just carefully pull through. Now I'm going to take this loop, put it onto the other hook, set this hook aside, and now you need to cinch that loop. You want that loop tight on the hook, otherwise it just doesn't work. And we're going to continue to pull through. And now we're done and we're ready to cut our yarn. I need to find my scissors. Alright, so here are my scissors. So I'm just cutting the yarn. And to finish it, I like to feed it through. So sometimes you can just pull it, but when doing this, I like to pull it through the loop like that. It just gives it a more secure finish. And you just pull it as tight as you can. So you kind of have like a little bubble thing. So what I do to get rid of that is I insert my hook, and so here I'm going to put it inside the hat. I'm going to poke it in that hole in the top, like so. I'm going to grab my tail and pull it through the hole. And then I just put my hand inside the hat again, and then I'm going to pull that tail. So here it is right here. I'm going to pull it nice and tight, and like I'm pulling tight, so you want to do that. Pull it as tight as you can. And then you can see you have a really nice, fun, I love how it like swirls, whoop, finish. So it looks really nice and neat and tidy, and that's why I like to do that. So here is our hat. I think it's super cute with the heart there. And of course you'll need to weave in ends. This guy needs to be washed. This yarn, I found some stains on it. We need to give her a bath. So I did make another hat. So here is a yellow hat here. And this is also Red Heart Super Saver yarn, as is this. But I can tell that this yarn, it feels slightly lighter weight, but it is definitely Red Heart Super Saver. So I just find that to be very interesting. Did the same exact amount of rows. You can even, I just feel like it's just slightly smaller than the yellow, but that's fine. Now, of course, if you wanted your hat slouchier, you could work a couple more rounds before beginning the decrease rounds. So that's completely up to you. You can do that. But as I said before, weave in your ends, block your hat if you need to, and you're all set for wearing. So I hope you enjoyed this project, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.